Every quarter, I run this same process. I don't know how long it takes, probably 45 minutes or so. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I'm going to show you me getting started it. And so the first time I did this without a document, I mean, it took hours. It took a couple different sessions over the course of a couple hours. And, there were mistakes. And since then, I've been recording myself doing it. You're not going to watch this whole thing, but my stuff will look at this whole thing. And that helps me revise the document for anything that's new because going through this. So what is this really all about? This is about how I use SOPs to do things that have to get done repeatedly in my business so that it reduces my cognitive load and make sure that I do this important thing accurately. Here we go. I'll share my screen. And this is what an SOP looks like. I just changed this I have a template, and so this will get changed. Great. Here we go. Great. And so, what does an SOP need to have in it? It needs this stuff right here. It needs the purpose, when it's supposed to be done, and on and on. And then it goes right into me getting ready to do this, and then the different things. And as I go through all of these things, it has the instructions there. Now, this is what I would call, a preliminary SOP for management only. This is an SOP for me only, and it is not what you would need to do this if I hired you to do this for me. So, that's a big difference. I make those documents as well. I make them for this client right here, Urban Tree, but it's not a whole nother ball game. It's just the next level after this one. This is all about making sure I have the right tags and making sure that my data, my incoming data, is cleaned and tracked properly so that in the future, when I'm looking at the results, I can segment the data correctly and look at the results and know that I'm looking at good data. So it's for current results and future. And then, of course, this sets off a whole chain of things that happen in the sales process. Some of them automated, some of them manual, some of them face-to-face, some of them by email, on, and so on and so on. The more, the merrier. The more it all lines up on brand to how your business performs exactly what you do is what's important. And that's what SOPs are about, is making sure the people in your business perform things well. Then it's perform them even better, but ideally what they're doing is performing them on brand so that everything gets performed to fit into the big puzzle of growth, revenue, and profit. But I digress. Because it's easier to talk to you than it is to do this, even when I have it in front of me. Let's try this, see what happens when it's there. No, cancel. That's the wrong one anyways. Jeez. Okay, so I need proposal. I need new lead Q2 and appointment set Q2, APPT. I was double checking there. Then I need new lead Q2. And this lets me know down the road that things are accurate, that this lead came in Q2, but maybe we don't close the deal till Q3. And then we do a deal with them 2 years from now, and we know that we did a deal back in Q2 2026 or 2026, Q3, and on and on. This one can just get deleted. Been meaning to do that. And then the last one, proposal, Q2. All right, so I knew this coming up, so now we got to go and change the gravity form, which is right here. This is the form. It's a plugin in our WordPress Urban Tree website that allows the info and data from the lead. For example, one just came in a couple hours ago to go right into Go High Level and notify the correct people that this person needs to get contacted about their request. Here it is. You can see where the things go in. I knew this was in here somewhere, and those are the tags we need. It would have built it if I hadn't have done that already, but there it is. And see, I tag it as a web inquiry, and it goes into a sales pipeline. Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to take a picture of this spot, put it over into here, and move on. That's to be decided later. All right, and here is where we are going to actually, the next time, have a list of the make scenarios. Let's see, we might even start that right now. But here we go. This is where it gets crazy. No, not crazy. See, what I'm really solving in this whole problem is anything I have to do on a schedule that requires me to remember the sequence, the exact names, the exact order, that's cognitive load that I have to pay for every single time I do this. And there's enough in it already. I pay for it. I'm doing this in the afternoon where my cognitive thinking isn't prime, but that's okay. I get it done anyways because I have the list, the SOP. Man, hey, come on. Here we go. So I have to go through all these scenarios because at least the ones that are running on this one right here. There we go. And I'm going to change this to say Q2 at the beginning. Everything that gets changed gets that name from now on, right at the very beginning. And the next time I do this, I'm going to have this checklist all built out. See what this does? Sets up different types of appointments, have different pre-appointment email and text message sequences. And this makes sure that's all happening. And what I'm doing has nothing to do with make sure that all keeps going because everything gets changed as the quarter goes because it needs to run on the new data that I'm making it run on. So you know, what this SOP actually does is it moves the decision out of your brain and into the document. I'm not thinking about when to do this. I'm not thinking about what to do when I do it. I'm thinking about how I do it following these instructions. I'm executing the whole time. And those are the different modes. And one of them is a lot cheaper mentally and time-wise. Okay, I just did this one. No, lead manager to main, if I remember correctly. 60 I don't do. Okay, there we go. So that's on my other instructions, and it's not as clear, and I'm going to change that. Call in maybe. Yep, do 56, and I do 55. It's all the create a contacts again. And I believe that's all the calendars that are running right now. Yeah, see, this has new leads because this is actually on all of them because this is literally for intakes, whether they're client or not. So I want to change this too, and I'll have to note that. And this is why I record the whole thing. You know, right now, like if this, I could change this into based on the recording and more of what I have, I could change this into one that my team could use. Right now, complicated tasks like this are only ones that you can run. The moment this document exists, someone else can do it. It's not a small thing. It's the difference between being a business that owns all your time or being a business that delegates tasks out when they need to be done. And this takes practice so that building them and knowing what to do works. Okay, done there. Okay, so from my list and based on what I've done in the past and then looking at what's running here, I know what that does. Good. Perfect. So I'm done there. What's next? I got to go into the live automations. All right, back at it. Got a little food in me, re-energized, ready to go. Shed a couple layers that I didn't need on. And so here we go. The appointment reminders needs the new appointment tag changed. And these in this if then are all just there to keep people from getting this if they did indeed already get that appointment set. And this is a new lead sequence to make sure that they know these new leads know that we're trying to get in touch with them. And now I know anytime I build a workflow, if it has these quarterly tags, I put the Q2, whatever quarter it is in first. Okay. Making a lot of progress here. That should be all the automations in the 2025 email sequence, which can now be updated to the 2026 email sequence. This one right here. Now I have all the updates, which there's a bunch of them in here. I know this doesn't have any changes in it. These I already have marked. This one is the live per queue for answer first to add new lead. Now we got these other ones. Anything in the new message workflow? Yes. New message workflow ops and tasks has a couple that are dedicated to the quarter. That's a live appointment set Q2 2026, remove tag tasks when op is reached or appointment set. Then we also have the live appointment set Q1, now Q2 2026, remove tags and from workflows when appointment canceled and or lost. Then we have the task and messages for the new leads and move stage and new leads track to appointment Q2. So those are the ones we're going to change right now. See how daunting this is? It's over and over. And so without that list, I'd just be in a world of hurt. Now I just look at everything that's live, everything that's in Q2, and I kind of just am in the groove. All right. And I'm done. I think a lot of owners think SOPs are for big companies or that's what they're going to do when they decide to scale. And SOPs are the thing you do before you scale. It's the thing that will literally make you feel ready to scale. You'll know it because you'll feel it, because all of the mental roadblocks in your head will be free and you'll be allowed to think about what scaling really means. So do your SOPs. This is why the cost of carrying this in your head is way too high. The size of your team is irrelevant. If doing something repeatedly takes mental, cognitive load, then you need an SOP for it if you have to do it more than once.